All right, so President Joe Biden just had an interview with George Stephanopoulos after the debate. This is his first TV interview since the debate. And, there's been a lot of questions going around circulating about his health. Let's go ahead and get into this interview and see what President Joe Biden is talking about.
Doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with the debate. You and your team have said you had a bad night, but your friend Nancy Pelosi actually framed the question that I think is on the minds of millions of Americans. Was this a bad episode or the sign of a more serious condition?
It was a bad episode. No indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted. I didn't listen to my instincts in terms of preparing, and I had a bad night.
You say you were exhausted.
That's crazy because I'm not stupid, and I don't think America is stupid either. And, I want to give President Joe Biden the benefit of the doubt, but there's a difference between being exhausted and not being able to remember what to say, or saying something and actually saying the wrong thing. I believe in one part of the debate, he said that he beat Medicaid. Yeah, so that's I don't know. I want to rock with you, President, but we got to see what's going on here.
And I know you've said that before as well, but you came, and you did have a tough month, but you came home from Europe about 11 or 12 days before the debate, spent 6 days in Camp David. Why wasn't that enough rest time, enough recovery time?
Because I was sick. I was feeling terrible. Matter of fact, the docs with me, I asked if they did a COVID test because they're trying to figure out what's wrong. They did a test to see whether or not I had some infection, a virus. I didn't. They just had a really bad cold.
And did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
Well, what I want to get at is, what were you experiencing as you were going through the debate? Did you know how badly it was going?
Yeah, look, the whole way I prepared, nobody's fault mine. Nobody's fault but mine.
I think that might be what it is. He just did it again. Do you guys see how he pauses? Like he doesn't mind pausing before he answers his question. I think sometimes that those pauses are kind of working against him a little bit. I think we may interpret it as a brain fart or him not knowing what he wants to say, but maybe he's just really thinking about what he wants to say.
I prepared what I usually would do, sitting down as I did come back with foreign leaders or the National Security Council for explicit detail. And I realized about partway through that, I get quoted, the New York Times had me down at 10 points before the debate, 9 now, or whatever the hell it is. The fact of the matter is that what I looked at is that he also lied 28 times. The way the debate ran, not my fault, no one else's fault.
But it seemed like you were having trouble from the first question in, even before he spoke.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just had a bad night. You've had some bad interviews once in a while. I can't remember any, but I'm sure you did.
I've had plenty. I guess the problem is here for a lot of Americans watching, as you've said, going back to 2020, watch me. Yep. To people who are concerned about your age. And, 50 million Americans watched that debate. It seemed to confirm fears they already had.
Well, look, after that debate.
Right. And I don't know if he's realizing that people been calling him Sleepy Joe and, concerned about his health ever since he first got into office. And I don't know if he's aware of that. And I kind of feel bad for him, man. Having to prove to the public that your health is in good condition. I mean, like he always says, there's nothing wrong with the public asking about his health, but I know it gotta make him feel like he's old. I'm not talking about just old, but like make him feel like he's old. It's it kind of hits my heart when I hear people talk about how old he is. Let's keep going.
I did 10 major events in a row, including till 2 o'clock in the morning after that debate. I did events in North Carolina. I did events in Georgia. Did events like this today. Large crowds, overwhelming response, no slipping. And so I just had a bad night. I don't know why.
And how quickly did it come to you that you were having that bad night?
Well, it came to me as having a bad night when I realized that even when I was answering a question, even though they turned his mic off, he was still shouting. And I let it distract me. I'm not blaming it on that. But I realized that I just wasn't in control.
But part of the other concern is that this seems to have fit into a pattern of decline that has been reported on recently. New York Times had a headline on July 2nd, Biden's lapses are said to be increasingly common and worrisome. Here's what they wrote. People who have spent time with President Biden over the last few months or so said the lapses appear to have grown more frequent, more pronounced, and after Thursday's debate, more worrisome. By many accounts, as evidenced by video footage, observation, and interviews, Mr. Biden is not the same today as he was even when he took office
You're not, man. You're not. And that's okay, because being the president is a hard job. Even when President Barack Obama came out of office, his hair went from salt and pepper to full blown silver. He was a silver fox after that. He came out of there just completely gray. So, you're not the same person, man. You are older. Being the president, it is a stressful job. And, I hope that he's being realistic when it comes to that.
Half years ago, similar reporting in the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal. Are you the same man today that you were when you took office 3.5 years ago?
In terms of successes, yes. I also was the guy who put together a peace plan for the Middle East that may be coming to fruition. I was also the guy that expanded NATO. I was also the guy that grew the economy. All the individual things that were done were ideas I had or I fulfilled. I moved on. And
speaking of the Middle East, I don't think it's peace in the Middle East right now. I feel like I remember something going on with Syria and some other groups over there getting active. And yeah, so I don't know if he can claim that.
For example, well, that was true then. What's Biden done lately? Today, announced 200,000 new jobs. We're moving in a direction that no one's ever taken on. I know you know this from the days in the government. I took on Big Pharma. I beat them. No one said I could beat them. I took on all the things we said we got done. We were told we couldn't get done. And part of it is what I said when I ran was I wanted to do three things. Restore some decency to the office. Restore some support for the middle class instead of trickle-down economics, both from the middle out and the bottom up. That way the wealthy still do fine, everyone does better. And unite the country.
But what has all that work over the last 3.5 years cost you physically, mentally, emotionally?
Well,
right.
I just think it cost me a really bad night, a bad run. But,
I think he doesn't want to be realistic right here because he doesn't want to look weak, but it's okay, man. Being the president is gonna wear on you mentally after 3.5 years. I don't care who you are, but for some reason he's just not admitting that tonight.
George, I'm optimistic about this country. I don't think we're a country of losers, that he points out. I don't think America's in tough shape. I think America's on the cusp of breaking through in so many incredible opportunities. This next term, I'm going to make sure we have straighten out the tax system. I'm going to make sure we're in a situation where we have health care for all people, where we're in a position where we have child care and elder care, free up, and all these things. The one thing I'm proudest of is, remember when my economic plan was put forward, a lot of the mainstream economists said it's not going to work. Well, guess what? You now have 16 Nobel laureates, 16 of them in economics, saying that Biden's next term would be, based on what he wants to do, enormous success. Trump's plan would cause a recession, would significantly increase inflation. I've made great progress, and that's what I plan on doing, and we can do this.
I understand that, and I'm not disputing that. What I'm asking you is,
what do you guys think about his policies? Let me know what you guys think about President Biden's policies in the comments. I'm interested to learn more from you guys that have been watching. We've been covering this elections ever since the debate, and we've been getting active in the comments. So I'm definitely interested to know what you guys think about President Biden's policies down in the comments.
About your personal situation. Do you dispute that there have been more lapses, especially in the last several months?
Can I run the 110 flat? No, but I'm still in good shape.
Are you more frail?
No.
I know you
Come
spoke.
keep my
Did he ask him if he's more frail? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what that makes me feel sorry for President Joe Biden when people ask him stuff like that. Like, are you more frail? He'll break a bone, just by doing anything, walking up a flight of stairs or something like that. So I don't know, man. This is just crazy. We're gonna let a couple more minutes of this play, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
schedule.
I know you spoke with your doctor after the debate. What did he say?
He said, he just looked at me and said, "You're exhausted." I said, "Look, I have medical doctors travel me everywhere, every president does, as you know. Medical doctors, some of the best in the world, travel me everywhere I go. I have an ongoing assessment of what I'm doing. They don't hesitate to tell me if they think there's something wrong."
I know you said you have an ongoing assessment. Have you had a full neurological and cognitive evaluation?
I get a full neurological test every day with me. And I've had a full physical. I had, I've been at Walter Reed for my physicals. Yes, the answer is
I know your doctor said he consulted with a neurologist. I guess I'm asking a slightly different question. Have you had the specific cognitive tests, and have you had a neurologist, a specialist, do an examination?
Look at his face.
no one said I had to. No one said, they said I'm good.
Would you be willing to undergo an independent medical evaluation that included neurological and cognitive tests and release the results to the American people?
Look, I have a cognitive test every single day.
Oh, you better say yeah, man.
Every day I have that test. Everything I do. Not only am I campaigning, but I'm running the world. And that's not how it sounds like hyperbole. But we are the essential nation in the world. Madeleine Albright was right. And every single day, for example, today, before I come out here, I'm on the phone with the Prime Minister of, well, anyway, I shouldn't get into detail, but with Netanyahu. I'm on the phone with the new Prime Minister.
Hey, it sounds like he just forgot right there, man. Hey, check this out. He should have said yes to the cognitive test, and letting the American people see the results. We need a sense of security when it comes to President Joe Biden at this point. When George Stephanopoulos asked him about taking a test, he definitely should have said yes, he would do that. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you guys like the video on the way out. If this video resonated with you, make sure you also subscribe to the channel. Check the link in the description. You guys can join us in our mastermind community. And until next time, we will see you guys in the next video. And I will also leave the link to the video down in the comments so you guys can go watch the full clip.